Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and a warm welcome to the latest episode of IRE Talks powered by GIBS Business School. I'm Palak Bansal and today I'm back with another exciting IRE Talk featuring Mr. Jeremiah Teo, who has joined us today all the way from the vibrant city of Hong Kong, a place that feels far away yet is brought closer through the wonders of technology. Today, we have a speaker who has mastered the art of making connections in diverse and dynamic settings. Our talk today, Charisma, Connect, and Inspire in today's rowdy social world, is not just a discussion. It's a guide to navigate the complexities of our contemporary social landscape. Picture this as your compass through the noise, a manual for those seeking not just to survive but to thrive in the bustling crowd of today's social scene. Today, we embark on a journey into the heart of charisma, that elusive yet essential quality that sets a leader apart, captivates the audience, and transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences. Now, before we head into today's IRE Talk, let me take a moment to introduce the platform IRE Talks to our new audience and our esteemed speaker. At GIBS IRE Talks, powered by GIBS Business School, we envision a world where knowledge, inspiration, and innovation are boundless, accessible to all, and unceasingly transformative. Our vision is to be the pioneer and that transcends educational boundaries, fostering a global community of lifelong learners, forward thinkers, and change makers. At GIBS, we are not your typical B school. We believe in learning by doing that encourages new ideas, supports research, and sparks the spirit of entrepreneurship. Our goal is to help people like all of you reach a full potential both personally and professionally. GIBS B School is more than just a school. It's a place where innovation is encouraged, connections are made, and success is reimagined. Heading back to our today's RE talk, in the next 15 minutes, we will unravel the art of making meaningful connections in the era where attention is the new currency. Get ready for practical strategies, psychological insights, and real world examples that will empower you to captivate and inspire, leaving a lasting impact long after you leave this virtual space. From effective communication techniques to cultivating an authentic presence, our talk is your toolkit for standing out in a world that never stops talking. Whether you're a seasoned professional, an aspiring leader, or someone simply curious about the secrets of charisma, you're in for a treat. So fasten your seatbelts and prepare to dive deep into the world of charisma as our speaker today will guide us through a roadmap of skills that not only enhance your personal and professional relationships, but also leave you empowered to shine in this dynamic and social world. So, are you ready to unlock the power of charisma with Mr. Jeremiah Teo, who comes with a 14 plus years of coaching experience as a charisma business coach, having coached more than 5,000 clients for more than 100 organizations and nationalities? Jeremiah specializes in championing corporate leaders, business owners, and growth oriented individuals towards transformation in relational trust, persuasive public speaking, and strong influential confidence. Some of his clients include Novartis Pharmaceuticals, AIA Group, Resort World Sentosa, Western Sydney University, Hong Kong PolyU, and many more. Without further ado, let us now welcome Jeremiah and hand over the session to him.
Right.
Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you, Ms. Pala, for the warm introduction. And hi, everyone. My name is Jeremiah, and I'm excited to be here with you guys and to have this time with you, helping you to learn how to connect and inspire in today's rowdy social world. And because time is very tight in the schedule today, without further ado, let's begin with the PowerPoint shared in the screen. Now, in the next 35 minutes, it's going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be fast paced. So do put on your seatbelt and stay tuned to what's going to happen. Because in this case, what we're going to look at, learning outcomes of today's workshop will be three things. Number one, we'll be looking at exploring three myths of charisma. What is charisma? Why do we need charisma? And how do we use charisma to excel in today's world? Post-COVID competitive world. So we'll spend about 10 to 15 minutes on that. And secondly, we'll look at three empowering mindsets to help you get greater charisma in public speaking. Last but not least, in the last 10 minutes, we'll look at mastering 3 key confidence hacks through the body language use within just 120 seconds. So that is what we'll do in a short half an hour. But first up, I'd like to encourage you guys with a simple story. Now, for me, actually, I wasn't born and raised in Singapore, even though right now I wasn't born and raised in Hong Kong. I was born and raised in Singapore, pardon my words. And in Singapore itself, it was fast-paced society, quite similar to Hong Kong. And when I came to Hong Kong 1.5 years ago, if you know, in Hong Kong, they speak in Cantonese. And I speak no Cantonese, right? Even though I could speak 普通话 for the mainland Chinese, and I could speak English, but I can't speak any ounce of Cantonese. But when I was running late for a workshop, I took a taxi. I met a taxi auntie who doesn't speak English or 普通话. And we literally are speaking in a different language platform. But do you know that even I was very nervous with rushing for the time, I had one of the best experiences in my Hong Kong life for the past 1.5 years, because the taxi auntie, was able to bring contagious, great energy to the taxi, making me forgetting about my nervousness. And if there's one thing you could do with me today, is to bring positive energy, because I can guarantee you, in terms of participation, questions are asked, I will replicate and give back the same amount of positive energy to add value to you and to help you learn more than you expect for today's session. So that's number one. And because it's a Zoom sessions, we have 83 people here in the Zoom right now. I highly recommend you to participate in post and forum discussions. There'll be some quizzes, say about body language, about the myth of charisma. It will be wonderful if we get to learn from one another what we think about the questions and the quizzes. All right, a bit more with videos itself. Now, in this case, no, I know some of you, I can see you, but later on, I hope I get to see you in person or in video. That will be wonderful, but let's see how it goes. Okay, a few more things. When it comes to research, it's interesting because 98% of people think that we can multitask. But do you know that only 2% of individuals can multitask with great efficiency? But most of us think that we are the 2%. So I will encourage you, try not to multitask, because today is going to be high information content session. And if you stay close with me, I will make sure that you'll get at least 1 to 3 things away to apply in your personal career, student life, and etc. So do stay tuned. And I know now it's 4:30 to 5, might be a late time. Feel free to drink coffee, tea, get some food, get some energy, and let's have fun together. But nonetheless, please avoid to unmute your mic if you're speaking, right? That would be some basic guidelines. But without further ado, let's get started. And a bit about myself is actually in 2010, January, 14 years ago. Now, as Ms. Palak has introduced me, I actually started my career 14 years ago. And the reason why I joined the industry, it wasn't because I wanted to. Because in Singapore, as a guy, I needed to serve in the army. And I needed to wait for 9 months before entering the university. So I had a friend in church was saying, Jeremiah, you should join me to be a coach. And what do you think would be my answer? Is it yes? Is it no? Now, to be honest, I was, and I'm still an introvert. Public speaking was never my natural forte. It's a trained competency over the years of development. So I actually really want to reject him. But one thing he said, which still stay with me today, the principle in business is this. There are many things in life, in business, you can't avoid. And one thing you can't avoid is public speaking. No matter where, no matter what, you need to speak in public, even if it's one-to-one or one to a small group. You have to share in public of your perspective and experience. So he told me, Jeremiah, if you can't avoid, why not overcome? And slowly but surely, I hated it, but now I am beginning to reap the reward of the hard work and enjoy the fruit of the labor. So, in short, 1 minute, this is where I started from, teaching in schools, teaching teachers. In 2015, I had the opportunity to host a session, keynote sessions for about 800 people in attendance. And afterwards, to join the corporate business sector to coach about charisma for entrepreneurs, engineers, and sales professionals. Last but not least, I had been living in Sydney from 2017 to 2022. I did some work there with charisma coaching, and this is another picture of me speaking with multinational individuals of entrepreneurship backgrounds. Now, that's where I come from in short, and this is a bit more of the non-exhaustive companies I work with, be it hospitals, universities, and construction company, property agents, and etc. But my first question for all of you today is, number one, do you believe that everyone has what it takes to be impactful, confident, and value-adding public speaker? Because my answer would be yes. I truly believe that you and everyone here, has what it takes to be impactful, confident, and value-adding public speaker. But it's a journey. I will be honest with you, it's not easy. It can be laborious, but it's rewarding with the hard work. But you need that consistency and perseverance to keep training in the business communication. But first question first, I'd like to spend about half a minute because of time. Please answer me quickly. What is charisma in your opinion? Now, your time starts now. There's no right and wrong answer. I would love to hear from you. Please type in your answer in the Q&A or in the comments. Right, your time starts now. All right, so about 20 more seconds. Please write down your personal definition of charisma so that we can learn from you, we can learn from one another. Okay, personal quality, great from Rajesh. A few more. All right. Good evening, Vashu. All right, good to see you. All right, any other answers apart from personal quality? Okay, about 10 more seconds. All right, time is tight. So yeah, confidence, good. Savika, thank you. Mayank, hopefully I pronounced the name right. Okay, Litao, okay, I'll give you the advice to the question, right? Right, because of time, many people would say it could be like Aditi, talking about ability to influence people, eloquence, good looks, right, the magnetism, and much more. And to be honest, all these answers can be correct. They are not necessarily wrong, but you're missing the holistic definition of charisma. So let's jump right in. What is the definition of charisma then? All right, in the best friend online, dictionary.com, the definition says it's a spiritual power or personal quality. One of you actually mentioned it, right? Personal quality that gives an individual influence or authority over a large number of people. But the main focus is personal quality, influence, right? Everyone here has influence. Leadership is influence. If you use your influence well, you can lead people, you can excel and succeed in what you're doing in life. But then I want to introduce to you the meaning of charisma, because even though this phrase itself is from the Bible, but it is not just about the religion, it's about the universal truth, because charisma itself, the word, actually is not an English word. All right? The etymology of charisma, it comes from Greek language. And what's more, in a certain religious text in the New Testament of the Bible, originally it was written in Greek language. Therefore, we're using this to understand in the Greek meaning, what exactly is charisma? So in short, you can see in this book and chapter and verse 1 Peter 4:10, it says that each of you should use whatever gift, parenthesis, charisma, you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace. You see that the word charisma comes from the root word charis, which is grace. All right. And what does it mean there? So in short, you can see that the original meaning of the word charisma, it means favor freely given or the gift of grace. That means something in you is naturally given, natural talent. Some of you are good in playing music, are good in speaking from young, good in sports, that is a favor freely given to you, a gift of grace. But if you don't nurture what you naturally have, you will lose the nature in you, the good gifts that God has given you, that we have. If you don't grow it, you will lose it eventually. All right. So just some add on about charisma. Now, the next question is how? How can we then integrate charisma in our daily life and use it to be an impactful, confident, and value-adding speaker? Right. Again, for the third time, we are talking about this question. How do we do that? So I'd like to sum it to you in short. Charisma will look at transformation, right? Transformation, if it happens in short term, it is just short-term change. But transformation should be sustainable. So charisma itself, the journey of having charisma, is not an outside-in behavior moderation, all right, process that focuses on short-term, immediate positive changes. It's not like a conditioning test as you see in powerful tests where after you get a reward, you change your behavior. It's not short-term, but rather charisma itself is a journey of an inside-out identity-based transformation that is long-term. That means if you run a marathon, you're always having the same ability to run well. It's not 100 meters. Life is like a marathon. We need to run well with the confidence, the training, the pacing as well. So it's a long-term, sustainable, positive changes in your personal confidence. And here, this is what might be the first most important thing I want to share with you. A lot of times in our work life, be it in India, Hong Kong, Singapore, right, the society demands us to be who they want us to be. So sometimes we might come into a meeting and try to be someone like a confident speaker, like a teacher, or like a performer, even though we're introverts. But what you do does not always define who you are. Sometimes, yes, it does define, it does build you, but not all the time. Now, here's the good news, ladies and gentlemen. The good news is there's way effortless, more effective way to get to a level of sustainable transformation. And that is if you start point is from who you are, when you truly know who you are, it always define what you do. Like say, for example, here, right now, my identity is not a speaker. I'm not a keynote speaker in the main core of it. I'm not a coach if you look at the primary of it. Now, for me, my main identity behind why I do what I do is that I am a value adding person. So no matter what, be a keynote or if I meet someone for coffee, I would do the same because who I am always define what I do. I'm not trying to prove to people I'm good enough. I am trying to do what I do because of who I am as a value adding person to help and add value to people. All right. Are you learning? Okay, so first thing first, the question I will have you guys to think about. Now, it's not for you to find the answer now, but use a weekend to reflect, a coaching question for you. One of the life's simplest yet difficult question is, who are you? And who do you want to become? Because remember, if you know who you are, you have the clarity. Clarity breeds confidence and competency. Clarity breeds confidence and competency. So this might be the first two questions you want to take the weekend to think about, because I can guarantee you, among successful entrepreneurs I met, most of them are successful not because of skills, because they know who they are and why they're doing what they're doing. Okay, let's continue. Now, next question, people might say, Jeremiah, charisma is confidence, right? But then the question is, what is self-confidence? What exactly is self-confidence? Now, here's a certain definition for you to consider. Self-confidence describes two things. It describes the attitude, and as mentioned, the identity. Attitude and identity. That people like you and I hold, attitudes and belief, pardon me, attitudes and belief that we hold regarding our identity, abilities, and strength. So what is for someone who is highly confident, right? They will feel like they can achieve what they set out to do and maintain a steady sense of control over their lives. So that would be the characteristics of a highly self-confident person. So that is the definition of self-confidence. We'll come back later. And the truth is, the clearer you know who you are and why you do what you do, the better you discover the how. Who and why comes first, then you know the how to be confident of yourself, right? There's a shortcut in life or business out there. Okay, let's move on because of time. Right, self-confidence actually primarily is not a beauty or behavioral change, but actually is a fruit of charisma. Now, in this 1 minute, I want to share the story of Nick Vujicic. Now, Nick Vujicic, as you can see, he was born without arms and legs. Some of you might have heard of him or watched his video on YouTube. Fascinating, inspiring individual. Even without hands and feet, he could captivate the audience in live setting. And that's because of who he is, right? He's clear with his identity, his mission, and vision. Now, for the lady on the right, her name is Lizzie Velasquez. If you Google for her name, you'll see that on Instagram and YouTube, she has at least about 800,000 followers, right? Why she's so popular and with so many followers is because she's a main spokesperson against cyberbullying. Now, for her, when she was born with this dystrophy of the muscles. She can't gain weight, but she has a sense of humor to inspire people to be who they can be, even though they can't physically, like her, to gain weight. So that's Lizzie Velasquez. Something about Nick Vujicic coming back. Now he's happily married. You might know he has 4 children, right? Beautiful wife, amazing, amazing gentleman. So here is the second most important thing I want to impart to you today. The difference between confidence and charisma lies in here. Charisma is not confidence. Confidence is like a tree, right? You grow the tree, you nourish the tree, the soil, you grow the tree well. The tree of charisma, when it grows, slowly the fruit of confidence will come. When the tree is growing well, the apple tree, now in Singapore, we love durian. The durian tree will grow, will bear fruit, right? Orange tree, mango tree. When you're fruitful, it shows the evidence of charisma, the tree, the health of the tree. So in essence, one way to grow your health of the tree, the charisma, is self-acceptance. When you can accept who you are, the greater the fruit of self-confidence will take place. All right, this is really important. The stronger the self-acceptance of who you are as an individual, the greater the self-confidence you will have in a radiant, contagious way in your life and business career. So now, without further ado, let's come and burst some myths. Now here, I do like you to quickly answer in the Q&A, just yes or no. Now, 20 seconds is all we have. So myth number 1, only good-looking people can be charismatic. Is it yes? Is it no? Right, your time starts now. Okay, no. Okay, keep it going, right? Because we have many people, we can learn from everyone. So let's keep it rolling. Is it yes? Is it no? Okay, no, yes, no. Mostly no right now. I think I only seen 1 yes so far. All right, 7 no's and 1 yes. Another 5 seconds. Yeah, depends. Yeah, but no. Okay, great. So probably it's no as well. So 8 no's, around 9 no's. No, yes, 2 yes. All right, 9 no so far. So you can see even in 11 people, there's a majority that say no. But to be honest, actually beauty does contribute. Let me explain further. If you look at here, right, when it comes to these states, be it India or more popularly in South Korea and China, there's a rise of the plastic surgery trend. People spending money to change features on the face to look better. It's because beauty is contributive to how we look, how we feel. And if you look at the science of it, that's what we call the golden ratio of beauty, mathematical ratio that seems to appear recurrently in beautiful things. And I don't mean just like human being, right? Even scientists will observe that ratio in architecture, in the nature, in the mountains, in the waters, in the animals. There's a certain ratio that always repeats itself when it comes to beautiful things. And this ratio, as argued, will be the golden ratio of 1.68 to 1, also commonly called as phi. Some people might term it as Fibonacci number, but phi will be the more accurate term we look at this number. So here, let's look at some famous people. like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, really handsome, charismatic. Robert Downey Jr., Angelina Jolie, Emma Watson, they're amazing. They're good looking. But do you know that they have many stories to tell? Dwayne The Rock Johnson famously founded Seven Bucks Production because literally at the lowest point of his life, he has only $7 left, $7 in his pocket. Robert Downey Jr., do you know that he was a drug addict before becoming Iron Man? Right, Angelina Jolie, do you know that she had cancer and actually had some big changes in lifestyle, but still becoming confident of who she is? Emma Watson is a wonderful campaigner for feminist rights in her own way in public influence. So they have own stories to share. None of them are perfect, but they grow to be confident as who they are. But yes, they are truly good-looking people. But let's look at not so good-looking people. Two of them you've seen just now, Lizzie, Nick. One more guy, popular in China, Jack Ma. Some might say he's good-looking, but let's be honest, he's okay. But he's very influential. He's very charismatic. Now, here are some examples of people who are deemed not so good-looking, but well-known public speakers. So you can see that, again, coming back to the definition of dictionary.com, charisma represents or is defined by personal quality that give an individual influence or authority over a large number of people. Here's the good news for all of us. Even not so good looking people, right, can be charismatic too. So that is where we get to. All right. So charisma is personal. Anyone can discover and develop charisma, including you and I. All right. So that's number one. Okay, let's continue. This question is much, much tougher, right? I promise you it's not that easy, but same 20 seconds, please let me know your answer, yes or no. Charisma can be built quickly through conversational and public speaking skills. Is it yes? Is it no? Right, the time starts now. Okay, no, yes, no. Right, yes, yes. So it's a bit divided right now. There are more yes than no's this time. Very interesting, straight to the point sessions. Okay, right, thank you. But let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, right? Because time is really tight. No, okay, yes. So you can see here there's a quite an equal division. Now, to be honest, it can be yes and no. And let me explain why. We'll spend some time on each side within 5 minutes. Now, it's true. When it comes to dating, imagine you're going for a first date. Would you date someone who is not confident in speaking and always stammer, always looking down? Or would you date someone who is expressive, confident, respectful, know what he or she is saying? I think the answer is obvious, right? That conversational and public speaking skills do make us look impressive in front of people. Now, here's a third point I want you guys to really try to pay attention to, because here's the difference between being impressive is not about being charismatic. Let me explain. Right, we have heard many stories where, let's say men, they are charming, right, good looking, amazing in the first few days. After a few months, they turn out to be different. Not saying all men, right? Some men are like that, and they turn out to be not honest or doesn't appear to be that gentleman. So being impressive, right, is very short term. But being charismatic is a long-term game. It's a character development. So when you're being charismatic, remember, it's a positive, sustainable transformation. So in that sense, we can see that, yeah, it does contribute with conversational skills, but actually, if you're not careful, you can be impressive and not charismatic. Over time, people might call your bluff and discover you through your facade. All right, so that's number one. But let's come back to the other side of the coin, because actually, in a certain extent, they do build your charisma. They don't define, but they build your charisma. And here I want to introduce you to the Lego builder mindset. And I learned this from my nephew. I'm the youngest in my family. I have three older siblings. They're way older, 12, 10, and 8. Right? Everyone's married. Everyone's two kids. I have three nephews, three nieces. The oldest is now 17. But when he was young, he really loved Lego. And he wants to build the Avengers Lego. And I thought that's amazing. But at the same time as well, building Lego takes certain characteristics. Just like building charisma, right? You have the conversational and public speaking skills. They are like your Lego set. You can build it, try it out, impress people, speak in Zoom, and etc. But you need more than that to build the success you want. So I would argue that when it comes to a positive change, right, with Lego mindset, as you're building one at a time, you need the positive mindset to persevere. You also need the personal leadership to continue to get to who you want to be. And let me give example. Right. First up, three simple mindset in 1.5 minute. Now, the first thing first is we have to believe that we can discover charisma through the strengths in us. Because truth is, even though we are not perfect, you and I have the strengths and weaknesses. All right. All of us have strengths. Some of us are patient. Some of us are good listener, are good speaker. Everyone has different strength. But do you know your strength? Are you able to build on your strength to become more confident as a person? That's the first question. Now, second question is, or second point, mindset would be, you can discover charisma as long as you don't give up, right? If we persevere in the right direction, the only way is up. But if you give up, you can't complete the marathon, right? The finishing line is depending on your perseverance. If you don't give up, you will get to where you want to be. But the third point will be a bit tougher. When we are really happy who we are, naturally charisma will be there. But I know it's not easy these days to be happy. Happiness comes in different shapes and forms. But I think this is a personal question we have to ask ourselves. Am I truly happy who I am? Because when you get to a place where you're truly happy with how you look, how you sound, who you are, your performance, then I would say that is the effortless way to become charismatic. I'm not just saying personal life, in business as well. To be confident that people can know you, like you, and trust you. Business is very simple. It's all about trust. KLT. When people know you, people like you, they trust you, they'll do business with you. Okay. All right. So three things here in short, right? Strengthen you, don't give up, and be truly happy who you are. That will be my quick reminder for you when it comes to positive mindsets. So here, this is just a simple reminder because of time. Now, the truth is everyone can find charisma, as I've argued with some evidence in the past 10 minutes, because it's personal and you can't, if you try to be someone else, you'll always be the second best. But if you try to be yourself, you will always be the best version that no one can be. All right. So don't try to copy, be yourself. Discover through positive mindset, your strength, and don't give up, right? Try to be and find true happiness with who you are as a person. Okay, next, when it comes to public speaking, what are some words that will come to your mind? Now, because of time, I want to share with you some common answers people give, like afraid, excited, disappointed, nervous, anxious, leg shaking, right? Hand sweating, right? Many different emotions. And interestingly, when you think about public speaking, it's funny because according to the research in Australia, psychology.com, they have looked at the fear that people have. And interestingly, the fear of death is number two. Surprisingly, the fear of public speaking is number one. I think many of us can relate to it. Well, it sounds simple. Actually, it's very nerve-wracking to speak in front of people. You can be sweating, you might have diarrhea or vomiting. But again, if you can't avoid, let's overcome it one step at a time. Okay, because public speaking can be an opportunity, not a problem, an opportunity to help, to serve, and to grow. Okay, so that is an opportunity there. Now, quick one, three empowering mindsets behind effective public speaking. Now, just now, that was about charisma. Now, this part is about the speaking sets of skills. How can we use our brain, our mindset to engineer the transformation in confidence? So here, quickly, I remember a celebrity, I forgot the name, Hollywood celebrity, when saying, asking the question, right? How do you speak to people in the camera when you know that millions of people are watching? And this is his answer. He said that, to me, I'm just speaking to you, one person. Any point of time, I'm just speaking to one group of people. Like right now, even though there are 95 of you, I know at some point I'm speaking to one group of people regarding some questions, some topic, and some themes itself. So here, if you think about public speaking, it's usually a form of conversation. Even right now, you're not talking to me, but because the thing I'm asking, I know that we are connected in thoughts and emotions about what we're talking about. So that I know we are connected in that thought bubble conversation right now, which I know some of you ask questions. I'll come back to you in the last 10 minutes for the Q&A. And remember, it's between you and one person or group at one time. That is number one. Okay, number two, passion. Some of you might have seen this, ikigai. I'm not going to go in details because of time, but normally in career coaching, if you don't know what you want to work, this will be a wonderful paradigm to check out. Because the argument is when you found out the answer for the four question, what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and lastly, what the world needs, you find your ikigai. In other words, your reason of being, in other words, your purpose of life. But for today's topic, passion, I want to bring you to this segment. One of the definition of passion is the intersection of the two elements. That is what you love and what you're good at. When you know what you love and what you're good at, you become passionate about it. Like for me, I loved public speaking now. I hated it. I was good at it. But eventually, when I fall in love with public speaking, then now it became my passion. I must be honest with you, in the past, I dreaded public speaking. But now, even though I feel nervous, why do I feel nervous? Because I've never met you guys, right? It's the first time. But yet, I know it's a privilege to speak to you guys, and the passion helps me to cope with nervousness. So, what you're good at and what you love will help you to discover your passion. All right. Now, here are some example. Sir Ken Robinson, Susan Cain, and Simon Sinek. Now, if you have a guess about it, think about it. What are they passionate about in 5 seconds? Maybe some of you know them, but exactly what is the theme they are passionate about? You might be surprised there are top 20 speakers or even top 10 in TED Talks. Now, the first, Sir Ken Robinson, who passed away 1.5 years ago, his is the top ranking TED Talk ever, right? And his passion is about education. Okay, the second person is my personal hero, right? Speaking for the introverts, right? The power of introverts. That is a speech. And third, Simon Sinek, person about leadership. Top speakers in TED Talk we can learn from. All right. And my next question for you to think about is, what is a passion that you can speak confidently about? Because the truth is, we always feel passionate about something. But what is that something that we're passionate to speak about? Okay, that would be another question for you to think about, reflect, and journal in your journey of transformation. Okay, the third one before we go into body language, a bit of over time, but we'll get there. Now, this might be my favorite. Like right now, for example, you can't see my feet, right? You can see my body, you can see my face, but do you know that my feet are shaking? Sometimes you see the person based on how it appears on the camera, but you don't know what happens inside. Okay, a lot of times, even after being a seasoned public speaker, the emotions in me are nerve-wracking, is vibrating, is shaking. But I love this picture because just as how a swan appeared to be elegant, confident, but you don't know what happens below the water, right? And the good thing is people don't need to know what happens behind the scene. All you need to do is be okay to be nervous. Transfer the energy of nervousness into the energy of passion, of confidence. There's a way to transfer that in body language. We'll come back to that in a short while. So third picture I want to share with you is, think about be a swan, be an elegant swan, right? It's okay. Appear elegant, shaky behind internally, but still have control of your emotions and thoughts and speak confidently. All right. So that will be the third empowering mindset. Okay, in the next few minutes, I want to impart you the 3 confidence hacks using body language. Now, normally there's a head, there's like legs, there's shoulders, there are other areas, but today I want to focus on 3 simple ones that you can do. But we have to look at the argument for it. Now, if you look at the research by Dr. Albert Merabian from Iran, a lot of times we think that what we speak is the most important. But truth be told, let me give a story, right? Recently, I'm married. I learned that being there for my wife is important. Now, this one day I was really tired, really tired. All I want to do is to play games, just enjoy, have some time. But I know my wife loves to hear that I say I love her. I did the right thing. I say, wife, I love you. And she was angry. I was like, why are you angry? I just say, I love you. But I was playing my game, right? I was playing my game. I was like, I love you. But afterwards, all right, I realized maybe it's not my word, it's my tone. Maybe I have to be more enthusiastic and say, like, wife, I really love you. I appreciate you. But my wife is here. I'm doing this. Okay. And slowly I realized that the trick is to move my chair to be closer to her, put away my phone, and just give her a hug. And she really feel love, even without me saying anything. And the same thing in business communication. A lot of times it's not about what we say, it's our body language, it's a tone. The word contribute 7%, the tone contribute 38%. Last but not least, body language, 55%. Body language makes a big difference. And we often hear about the phrase, fake it till you make it. But let's be honest, it works sometimes. But actually, body language, according to Amy Cuddy, social psychologist from Harvard previously, now she's a freelancing professor, she said that body language doesn't just affect how people see us, but it affects how you see yourself. So if you have high power poses, slowly in 120 seconds, the neurochemicals will change and you'll be confident, you'll feel confident. But let's go to the other side. If even naturally you're confident, but you're always doing this, you're looking down all the time, slowly but surely, your neurochemicals will transmit the message that you're not feeling confident. So that is the power of high power poses. If you're feeling nervous, just have a high power poses. If you search online, there are plenty of it. If not, these are 5 examples you can do to try to generate high power in your confidence. Okay. But here, I do want to just go to a quick one here because of time. Now, let's look at the first part here. Now, this is smile. Smile is interesting. Do you know that we can fake smile? We can fake what looks like genuine smile. But the question is, what is the common feature that genuinely defines a smile as honest, authentic? Now, the answer, because I'll just go straight to you, is a crow feet. All right, good news, ladies. You don't have to take any Botox. Cultivate your crow feet because it's argued that when you smile with the crow feet, people think and feel like you're genuine. All right. So that's one way, smiling, trying to, when you want to be happy, remember high power poses. When you smile in a more cheerful way, it makes you feel happy as well. Smile, laughter is the cheapest medicine. Okay. You don't have to pay for it. Actually, it's free medicine, right? $0. So smile more, laugh more. It will help you in your confidence. Now, second part of confidence or is eye contact. Now, in short, A, B, C, D, right? Which one is the highest form of confidence? Now, normally we have some quiz, but I know you have a lot of questions for me. I want to answer that as well. But here, now, some people, my students will say B is the right answer because B is tricky, right? Trying to be funny. But in a business setting, I would advise trying not to do so. You want to appear confident and attentive. So B is not. A looks like you're zoning out. Don't do that. Right. C, you're looking at the person. That's great. C, by the way, is the answer. D, especially for guys, do not do that. If you get what I mean, try not to look too low. All right. Make sure you look at a person's eyes. Now here, if you're nervous, this is a simple tip. You can look in the part in between the eyebrows. This is what we call the eye contact hack. If it's one-to-one, can look at the glabella. If you're speaking in public, you can look at the forehead or above the head because sometimes you're on stage, you can afford to look a bit above the forehead just to give an illusion you are giving attention and respect to your audience. Okay, so just a quick one. Now, I want to just spend some time here on hand gestures because this is fascinating. This might be my favorite so far. Now, three simple questions with three simple answers and theories as well. Now, here, when it comes to hand gestures, if you heard about Shark Tank, entrepreneur pitching, how people present themselves to sell the business, a lot of times there's different power play in the hand gestures. Now, for A itself, we can see that it's rather more of desperate. Now, when you're nervous, you'll be like begging. This will give the impression that you're nervous. So try not to do that in your business presentation. Now, number two, normally it's okay, right? Again, the question is highest form of confidence. We are not talking about what is confident or not. What is higher confidence or highest confidence? Now, B is quite confident. If you sit like this, if you sit down and do this, right, it still generate that confidence display. But the best one is C, what we call the authority pyramid. If you look at CEOs, when they speak in public or in media, a lot of times they would do this, the power pyramid, to showcase the authority they have. And a lot of times they actually feel nervous as well. So it helps them to remind that they are in control. So this power pyramid, when you do it, you're showing that you have the confidence of who you are, your job, your profession, and your business. All right. So C will be the answer in terms of higher confidence. Okay, next one here. Now, talk about pocket, right? Hands in the pocket. Now, I want to remind you, if possible, try not to put your hands in the pocket when you're speaking, right? It's never professional. Sometimes if you can't help it, all right, if you naturally put it in. Now, question, which one is the best or highest form of confidence? My answer is definitely not A, because when it's A, you hide your hands. Whenever it's hiding, it communicates the hiding of your feelings. So when you hide your hands, you're hiding your emotions that people can't read. I don't know if you're confident. I don't know if you're nervous. No idea. So I can't trust you, right? But B and D, you might think that Jeremiah, it looks quite similar, right? But the difference is this. If you look at B, there's a pinky that's coming out of the pocket. But uh, for D, right, B has pinky, D has just a thumb. Now, this 1 minute will be the fourth important thing I want to share with you. It's the ideology behind the symbolism behind the fingers. Every finger matters in the universal body language portrayal of confidence. Now, for the pinky, the C word is convenience, right? How is it convenient? You know what I mean? Use it to dig things, your nose, your ears, right? Pinky is convenience. Now, for the forefinger here is a sign of commitment. That's why most people wear the ring in the forefinger. Now, of course, everywhere in the world, especially driving, when you get frustrated, you show the middle finger, right? I'm not going to show you here, but middle finger is an international sign language for anger. You, of course, know what I mean, right? So when you show middle finger, no matter where, no matter what, it's a sign of anger. But with index finger, it's interesting. When we are young, our parents say, son, daughter, do this and do that, right? It's instructional, but yet it's not very respectful. Would you like a boss to tell you, like, hey, do this and do that, and treating you like a child? Of course, we don't like that. So index finger, even though it's instructional, but it can be disrespectful. I want to share with you something I learned in the army in Singapore. Because in the army, we're told never to use our index finger. But how do we instruct people? We use our thumb. All right. If I want to tell you to convey a message, I'll give you the authority. So in short, if this pinky is about convenience, the forefinger is about commitment, the middle finger is about frustration, this is about instruction, the thumb is about authority, approval, thumbs up, power, right? You give authority, power, approval. So that's why people don't like it when we say you're not good, because it's disapproval, not giving you the power that you desire. So this will be the symbolism of five fingers. All right. So here, one last thing here before I end is open, close hand gestures. Now, when you speak in public, in business communication, never close yourself. Never close up, never put your hands behind. Always shows your hands open. Why? Because when your hands are open, it shows that you have nothing to hide. But when you're closing up, it shows your insecurity. It shows that you're not confident. Sometimes we might hold on to like our mic, all right, or touching our legs because sweaty palms. A confident person will not do that. A confident person will be open to share what he or she thinks about the business or the principle. So last thing I can impart to you when it comes to hand gesture is always remember an open hand gesture when you're presenting. Never hide your hands. Never put in the pocket. Never put it behind your hands. All right. All right. So here we learn about self-confidence is the fruit of charisma. We learn about charisma, you have it, it's personal. All right. We learn about the mindset to get the charisma, that everyone can get charisma. We look at the three empowering mindset in public speaking, conversation, passion, be a swan, be elegant. It's okay to be nervous. And finally, out of the three, we look at the eyes, the hands, and the smile. So one last thing I'll impart to you is, ladies and gentlemen, what is the purpose of charisma? I'd like to submit to you it's not about self-serving, but rather it's about serving others because charisma is God's gift to you to serve others and help people. So that is the end. Before the Q&A session, if some of you, I've seen some of you actually following me on LinkedIn. Thanks. I'll accept them later. This is my LinkedIn. I'm most active on LinkedIn. So feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to have a chat with you. And I would like to now pass time to Ms. Palak, right, for the Q&A session.
Great, Jeremiah. I think that was an amazing session. And without given the time constraint, I think we'll head straight into the Q&A section. And we do have quite a few questions. So the first one that we will take up is from Sankarsh Arora. Do you recommend any YouTube channel or book to learn about all these things, what you're presenting here?
Great. So there are two YouTube channels that I always listen to. The first one is the Diary of CEO. Some of you might know about it. It's by Stephen Bartlett, DOAC. If you look for it, right now is the top leading podcast in Europe. Whatever Stephen is preaching about or sharing about is relevant to business, communication, and personal transformation. So Diary of a CEO, highly recommended. Now, the second one I'll recommend is The School of Greatness by Louis Howe. If you look at it, the podcast has been around for 10 plus years. Amazing speakers, amazing guests. Tony Robbins is there. Tom Bew is there. Gary Vaynerchuk is there. Amazing speakers are there. So, Direct CEO and School of Greatness. Yep.
Great. I hope, Sankarsh, you have made notes of the channel names that were just mentioned. And moving on, we have Rishikesh Narayan, who says, how important is it for a speaker to adapt their communication style to different audiences?
It's very important. You need to know your audience first. Like right now, I know you guys from business school. I know all of you would have a certain intellect or experience that I'm not talking to primary school students. Now, let me give you an example. If I'm talking to primary school students at 7 years old, I have to speak slower, I have to be more excited, more energetic, like telling roller coaster, like just being kiddies to get their attention. Now, because I know my audience, I know that we are here, mature adults interested in business communication. I don't need to do that to get attention because in today's world of attention span deficit, we have to adapt. If you're speaking to elderly, whole different way of public speaking. So know your audience, adapt is the power to inspire.
Great. Now we have Anshul who asks, how can the impact of social connections on mental health and inspiration in the workplace be supported or mitigated with
Hmm,
charisma?
great. So charisma, once again, is personal transformation. Part of it requires the honest journey to confront our own fears and failures. So, for example, For me, right, I'm not ashamed to say that in 2017, I intended to commit suicide because I was feeling depressed, I was feeling lost. I feel like whatever I do, I'm not thriving as a coach, as a person. I feel like my parents don't like me, don't love me as a youngest. I'm just a spoiled kid, right? But slowly, going through that journey, seeing psychologists, I realized the best thing ever happened to me is to have psychologists helping me to discover more about myself, self-awareness, and realization. And you can hear that when we share our stories, we can connect to people in the same struggle. But charisma grows when we are vulnerable. Okay, I'm not saying be transparent. You don't have to share everything. But when you are vulnerable with the struggles and share how you overcome, people will be inspired. And talking about mental health, many people do have the challenge of depression or suicide. Every person's case is different. But when you share your own story vulnerably, it's a powerful connection step to connect and inspire.
Great. I hope that answers your question, Anshul. Moving on, we have Manik Ray who asks how to build self confidence and how to communicate to others attractively, effectively.
Good question. So let's recap. Self confidence is a fruit of charisma. And when we grow charisma, we have to accept who we are as a person. Like for me, I'm not extrovert. I'm not going to be extrovert, but I'm going to accept who I am as an INFJ person. I want to grow and find the energy zone to charge myself. Like for me, coaching is perfect for me because it helps me to be energized through learning, through teaching. So instead of trying to be someone else, the key word, how do you grow self-confidence is to make sure you accept yourself for who you are. Don't try to be other people. If you're someone who is shy, yeah, you need to speak up more, but it doesn't mean you have to go party, drinking, and try to be rich, drive cars. Be yourself, but you need to learn about yourself first, right? There's no right and wrong answer. It's a matter of clarity. So coming back, self-acceptance of who you are, the clarity of who you are, right? Accept yourself, and the fruit of charisma in a sense of self-confidence will grow.
Great. Now we have Ankit who is asking how to be confident on stage and neglect negative feelings while presenting.
To be honest, every stage moment is stressful, is scary because you're meeting new audience. Most of people, even seasoned speakers, will find it nerve-wracking. And usually it's the first 20 seconds of craziness in your mind, in your emotions, and anxiety. Like for me, sometimes, right, I will need to go to the toilet even before speaking. But we just got to know our challenge. Go to the toilet, for example, afterwards adopt high power poses. And for me, I just remember or remind myself like, hey, I know it's crazy, but I'm grateful for the opportunity like now to speak to you guys. And I am the one who is holding the mic. So I have control. And I'm the master of my emotions. I'm not a slave to my emotions. I'm the master of my thoughts. So that helps me to take control of my feelings and slowly become confident on stage and overcome that 20-second of craziness. Afterwards, the rest will be easy. Sometimes when you're in the momentum, all you wish is more time.
Then I think this is a very beautiful question, and even I had this question which Ranjita has asked us. How do you leverage storytelling as a tool to connect emotionally and inspire action in today's social landscape?
Hmm. Two things. Let's look at video first. Of course, keep it short because while on YouTube it's different. Long form content does have its beauty. People do listen to 1.5 hour, 2 hours, but at the same time, paradoxically, that short form content, I will argue, is more manageable and also it captivate people easy as well. So let's look at video form, right? If it's a short form video like 60 seconds, like an IG reel, 60 seconds, keep it short, right? Keep it sweet. First 15 seconds, start with something of a punch, right? Of a pain. Recently, I had a client that said with the first line, when I was 4, I had cancer. That first line is powerful, right? It's painful, but people could relate to the point of emotions. So start strong and share details, but end with hope and positivity. So that's number one with storytelling when it's on YouTube video or like short form video, Instagram, TikTok, other forms of social media, right? LinkedIn, etc. But if you have the time, space, 3 minutes as well, I'll say still try to keep it short because a few of us will just keep talking, sharing, and we don't know what we are talking. Sometimes it happens. So try to keep a story within 120 seconds if possible. That would be a good number to start with. Ups and downs, climax, anticlimax, right? Yeah.
Perfect. And then we have a couple of last questions towards the end. One is by Tapan. He asks, how can a leader effectively foster a culture of connection and inspiration within a noisy and social workplace?
Good. Two things, right? Being authentic, I would say in the public space first, social media, personal branding, right? Personal branding is a space you can tell story about yourself, to share with people who you are. Now, of course, right, if you're looking at public communication in person, I would say the body language, because remember, the choice of words 7% of contribution to effective human communication. The tone, 38%. But body language is 55%. If you're a leader in the business world, if you want to inspire your employees to be hardworking, lead by example. And when you greet them, smile, shake hand. One last thing, remember the names because everyone will feel more endearing if you remember their names. Names is important, very important.
Great. I think with that answer, we had two targets. We also answered the last question, which was why is body language important? So I hope everyone has the answers now. And with that, we will be drawing curtains to today's IRE Talks episode powered by GIBS Business School. And I really want to extend a very sincere thank you to our showstopper, Mr. Jeremiah Teo. And your insights, your expertise, it definitely brought a very unique perspective that blends cultural richness with a global mindset. So it's a pleasure hearing from you, Jeremiah, and thank you so much for joining us today. As we wind up the session today, I also extend a heartiest thanks to all our audience for making this IRE talk a great success and a memorable experience. Thank you all for being an integral part of this engaging conversation. Now, for those, this is an audience announcement. For those who are awaiting their certificate from today's webinar, we would like to inform that it will be processed in the next 24 to 48 hours. Please do join us on the 30th of January at 4:30 p.m. as we indulge in the year with another exciting IRE talk powered by GIBS Business School that would be revolving around succession planning. Please do stay tuned on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn pages, wherever, however you can find us for all the updates and latest news from IRE Talks. This is your host, Palak Bansal, signing off, and thank you once again, and see you all in the next IRE Talks powered by GIBS Business School.